That is Andy Farrell. He's just named his side to face Western Force on Saturday. Let's have a listen in.
It lends its hand, doesn't it, to the way that the season finished out and where players are at, and trying to get people up to speed as quick as we can. So a lot of people get their opportunity to not just play the first game on tour, but quite a few of them as well. I think 9 of them get to play for the Lions for the first time.
Congratulations to Dan, who will captain the side. When you look at the talent and the leadership that you have within that side, can you tell us why it is that you feel that Dan is the man for the job, and what that says about him?
Well, it says a lot about him, obviously, because you don't make these decisions lightly. To have the special honour to captain the British and Irish Lions must be amazing for Dan and his family. You know, they must be bursting with pride, but it's well earned, obviously, and you know, he will 100% do the job justice by just being himself. You know, I know for a fact that whatever he asks the players to do, it won't be empty words. There'll be stuff that he's willing to do himself. I know that the responsibility as well will make him a better player, because that's the type of character he is, and he's a calming type influence who understands what pressured situations really look like at this type of level. So all those things put together is why he's sat at the side of me.
You spoke post-match about the hunger and the error rate in that defeat to Japan. Can you give us a sense of how everyone's responded to that and what you've seen this week?
Well, we'll see on Saturday how we responded. I suppose the guys that are taking the field this week are a little bit fortunate in the sense that they understand how we want to get better. They've got to take responsibility for that and grab a hold of their chance to make sure that they take this team forward. But yeah, I mean, you know, disappointed to lose any game. I hate losing, so does everyone else, and that's why they're in this position in the first place. But there are plenty of positives to go with that, but it's taking the learnings, isn't it, and how we keep pushing forward right up until that first test.
You're pushing forward, looking ahead to Western Force. Can you tell us a bit about the challenge that you think they're going to present?
Well, the side's a great side, full of Australians that have been, full of plenty of Australians that are in the here and now, and people with the ambition to be future Australian test players. So, and also, you know, the realisation that it doesn't really matter who we come up against. I think we've all seen the improvement over the last couple of years, and certainly this season as far as the Force are concerned. I think that goes across the board in Australian Super Rugby in general anyway, but I think, you know, if we analyse those type of performances and think that's what's coming our way, I think we'll be a little bit shocked, because, you know, it's a huge occasion for the Force as it is for us. So we expect the performances to be up another 25-30% anyway.
6 Wallabies will feature in that side. Does it matter to you how many of them are released or how many of them are involved?
Well, you look at the side and it's a good side. I mean, for me, I've got enough on my plate, making sure that we deal with ourselves, certainly at this period of the early stages of the tour. So I understand your question, but I'll allow the powers that be, who know all the answers to the what ifs, etc. We'll get on with that.
Just finally from me, Dan, can you just tell us a bit about how it feels for you to be asked by Andy to captain this Lions side?
Yeah, it's obviously a massive privilege and honour. Start of the week I was just focusing on doing everything I can to put on a red jersey for the first time, and you know, I think obviously you look around the room and there's so many individuals that are more than capable than captaining this team, and that's something that probably eases the nerves a little bit, that the amount of people around me that, you know, I don't have to make it much difficult. I just need to be myself, do what I usually do, and you know, that's why I'm here in the first place. So it's a massive honour, obviously. that phone call back home was something special, and I think they're gutted that they can't be here, and they're missing the first few games. But
they're not here.
I wouldn't be surprised if he shows up, but
I know I wouldn't be surprised either.
Will you tell us about that phone call?
Yeah, I was just on the phone to him today. I knew I wasn't able to speak to him too early in the week, but
why? Because they blab it.
They'd make it too big. I don't like too big. No, I'm just.
You just told them, so you've known for a couple of days.
No, I gave him a text, but I didn't want to call them. But no, it's just I'm quite a chill person. I feel like I have a good understanding on who I am and what sort of excites me, and I just sort of let these things happen in a weird way. I know that sounds almost like you're sat back, but I just don't overthink it really. And as I said, I think Saturday is something I was just focused on trying to get on the pitch, and sort of the prep during the week was just trying to be the best version of myself. And with the added role of being captain, I don't think it changes that much, and just bring the boys with me.
See, you can see now, can you?
And I'll just let it happen.
Thank you very much.
Andy, how are Keenan and Jamison Gibson-Park getting on in terms of?
Very well, and all being well, should be fit for the Reds game.
Good stuff. In terms of this team, 11 Irish players in the 23, how beneficial is that kind of understanding of each other, and I suppose what you will want from them as well?
Well, I suppose, for us all now, I mean, we've only been together for a few weeks, but, it's almost not even relevant to us, because it's not what we see or how we see it. It just happens to be that way as far as the numbers are concerned, etc. I suppose if you look at that, there are key positions out there that's not played together before, so all of that makes it interesting for us to see how cohesive we can be as a whole.
And Finn Russell and Henry Pollock both getting a start. What have you asked from those guys?
No, I don't need to ask them to do anything but to be themselves. That's why they're selected. They understand how we're going to play, how we want to play, how they want to play, how they get their own points of difference out there, because that's why they're selected as well. So they're as excited as everyone else is.
Dan, congratulations. How valuable do you think that experience of captaining Ireland against Wales in the Six Nations would be for you over the next year?
Yeah, that was obviously something that I'll lean on in that experience that week, and that was a tough game for us. Really tough test game that we probably made hard work of at the time, but valuable lessons at how we approached that half time, and I think the calmness we showed at times, just when you're in a tricky situation, just to stick to the process and trust that it'll work for you. But yeah, obviously I don't have a whole lot of captaining experience, but I'll just lean on the lads who do, and I'm not going to be alone up there by myself. So there's plenty of people that'll chirp up and take the lead as well along with me. So I think it's obviously a big part of that experience will help me, but not everything at the same time.
Achievement given 51 weeks ago, I don't know if it crossed your mind that this might not happen for you because of the injury. Like, to go from where you were at that moment in Pretoria to where you are now, you must be very proud of the fact that you've gotten back the way you have. Yeah, obviously when it happened at first, media thought was timelines and will things match up and can I get back, but very quickly I was sort of just stick to process, trust the medical team, trust people around me, do what I do, show up, do the work, and it all came good, didn't have any setbacks, and then you're just back into the swing of things straight away, and you're chipping away with Leinster, you're chipping away with Ireland, and looking at the bigger picture things, team sort of mindset rather than individual. You get out of your own way a little bit, and then you're here and crack into the weekend and see what happens. And Bobby, beyond a bit of leadership experience and guidance for you?
Bobby, I don't know. He's only focused on relegation battles, so hopefully not. Bobby's obviously been a big part of my upbringing, and he's straight on the phone as well, excited for the whole thing, and he's good as he can't get out to support me. But I have a lot of people in behind me who are phones blowing up now, which I'm going to ignore for the next couple of days. But that's all part of it.
Andy, there's a story from Will Genia today, says it's going to be a great series, but he reckons that the Wallabies have the better athletes. What are your thoughts on that?
You would expect Will to say that he's always going to back his own countrymen. If he didn't, that'd be a story, wouldn't it? So I get all that. It's going to be constant, isn't it? People backing their own, and that's how it should be.
What do you think in terms of the statement itself? Who do you think?
Well, he knows the Australian players probably better than me, because he's probably played with most of them, so he's obviously very impressed by them. But I suppose he's not been in our camp neither, so it's very hard to judge, isn't it? Unless you've been in both sides.
Dan, we'll have seen in the Pumas their reaction to beating the Lions, or what it meant, this kind of incredible emotion. Could you talk a little bit about what you've learned about the size of the target on your back, and what beating the Lions means to these teams?
Yeah, I think it's important to know where the opposition's mindset is, and how they approach a game that only comes around every 12 years, like the Western Force. So I'm sure they'll be 150% of what they usually are, and they'll be flying into it. So we need to make sure that we start well, start strong, start physically, and just sort of not be shocked by anything that you mightn't have seen it in tapes of what they're able to produce, but I'm sure that bit of extra hunger can produce some powerful things. So we don't want to look too much into them, but we have to understand their mindset, and then it's straight back to our own mindset. And my first time putting on a jersey, hopefully, and along with a few other lads. So you kind of dip in and out of it, but at the end of the day, it's all about us.
You can't underestimate obviously the red jersey means everything to you guys, but it means an awful lot to the other guys down the other end of the park as well.
100%. Like they would have been eyeing this game up since they probably first stepped into that Western Force change room. They eyeing up this game down the line, and it'll mean an awful lot to them. I think it'll hopefully mean an awful lot more to us to go out there on Saturday, and hopefully a big crowd, a lot of people travelling over. So I'm looking forward to the game, but I don't want them to think that they're going to be hungrier than us.